Welcome along then to the Daytona SuperChamps round number 2 at Milton Keynes. As always, a huge shout out to our sponsors helping us along with the event. For the N35 Lights, it's Raj Kalar in 12th place, Nathan Maximin in 11th place. Imogen Owen rounds off our top 10 with Monica Bolton Ramos in 9th. Lewis Barton is in 8th place with Finn Davies in 7th. Jay Hodson in 6th place with Adam Thomas in 5th. James Bettison in 4th and Luke Power rounding off our top 3. And the front row, 2nd place Charlie Fenton and Lee Schnitzler rounding off on pole position. For the Heavies in reverse order, it's Henry Walter, Josh Williams, Charlie Westbrook, Paul Studd and Justin Elliott. Front row, Barry Morris with Kuba Wozniak grabbing pole position. Looking on to the D-Max then, Samuel Faulkner will start in 8th place, Callum Poulter will be in 7th place, Andy Fryer in 6th with Kazuki Nushi in 5th, Liam Tricker in 4th and Casper Marriott rounding off our top 3. And the front row, Philip Babulal and Dan Monro on pole position. For the D-Max Heavies then in reverse order, it's Rupert Rickson, Tom Illingworth, James Bailey, William Ilf, Faisal Mayahwan, Arjun Gira, Gareth Baldwin, Carl Stevens, Sabir El Zayat, Charlotte Manton rounding off the top 3. Our front row, Henry Traynor, and on pole position, Matthew Clark. Let's jump into the racing action. So here we go then. We get ourselves underway in the D-Maxes. Green flag is shown and the race begins. Let's have a look on board then with Babulal as he loses out slightly at the start, almost losing his 3rd place there. Managed to keep his foot in round the outside, keep a hold of 3rd at the very least. Then you can see Marriott here waiting for the green flag. The green flag goes and he's almost pushing the 101 of Dan Monro to get this race started. He's rewarded with 2nd place. In the D-Max Heavies then, Matt Clark gets slightly out of shape and loses out to the 1-2-2 of Henry Traynor. That's for position in the class anyway. Got it all to do to make that one back up. We get underway then in the N35s. Green flag is shown for them as they hurtle their way down towards the first corner. On board then with Jay Hodson. He started this race in 6th. He's lost out to 8th place. But he's going to try and make that up as soon as possible up the inside to take away now in towards 6th place into turn 3. Rewarded with 2 positions gained as we're still running 3 wide behind them. So Lee Schnitzler then leading this race early on, holding off the challenge from Charlie Fenton right behind as they make their way now down in towards the final corner, heading on to the start-finish straight and towards the first turn. Great battle for 4th developing as well. Matt Clark then, who qualified on pole position in the D-Max Heavies, is going to lose out here to another position to Charlotte Manton, and he is far from happy about that one into turn 3. But he's got to keep his focus and try and get that position back. On board then with Babulal as he's trying to fight away with Casper Marriott. Going in towards turn 3 now. Back onto the power we go. Marriott just able to hold on for now. And he'll have the inside line for the next corner as well. Babulal, you're going to have to try something else. So Lee Schnitzler then still hanging on to the lead ahead of that 16 kart of Charlie Fenton. And that's been going on for some time now. 5 minutes into this race. Schnitzler still hanging on to the lead as the top 3 make their way across the start-finish line to begin another lap. Liam Tricker here qualified in 4th place as he looks to try and get past a kart ahead. He's got to be careful here because here comes the treble 1 right up the inside. That's Kazuki Nushi who gets up the inside there. And have a look to his left because that's Poulter, Callum Poulter in the 118 who get to move as well. That's 2 positions lost. Schnitzler then still hanging on to this lead, but he is under pressure. He has been for some time, 11 minutes into this race. Back onto the start-finish straight. You can see Schnitzler's looking over because he's got a kart on his inside going in towards the first turn. It's that number 18 kart, and it's Adam Thomas who takes the lead. Wozniak here riding on board with him as we make our way through the lap. And there's a little bit of contact. He's forced a little wide. He's not happy, Wozniak, with that either. He's now got someone up his inside. I think that's the 14. And it is of Nathan Maximin here. Wozniak realises that's for position because he's straight down the inside. Going through on Maximin. And he takes that place back. Wozniak back on a charge. Back on board for this battle for second and third place. It's been fantastic between Casper Marriott and Babulal here as they now make their way through this left-hander. Babulal trying up the inside, but gets a little bit of back-end loose, then loses momentum. Can't quite find that one as they head their way through turn 5. Oh, but that's Marriott who runs wide. And is this Babulal's chance to try and find his way up the inside in towards turn 5? Up the inside. Yes, he does. Defends the line of 6 there. Brilliant stuff from Babulal. Moves him up. Liam Tricker on the back here of the 1-2-4 of Charlotte Manson. Be on the outside for the final corner unless he tries a switchback. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do. Then back onto the power. Liam Tricker up the inside. They'll have the inside line for turn 1 and gets past Charlotte Manson then up into second. Marriott, meanwhile, he's on the back of Babulal as he makes his way up the hill. Babulal running wide on the exit of turn 8. Marriott here trying to go up the inside, which he does. Babulal still not done with this one. Trying to launch a move up the inside. No way through. Has to settle for that third place. So Dan Monro then really looking on hot form at the front of D-Max Lights. Absolutely soaring at the top of the field. And if he's got traffic up ahead of him, well, if he can deal with that with the rest of this race that he's dealt with, he'll be absolutely fine. Tricker now applying the pressure to the 1-1-2. Downhill. That's Samuel Faulkner right up ahead of him. Oh, and Faulkner spins it. Goes for a 180. And a little bit of avoiding measures from Tricker. And he looks behind because that's who's behind him, Charlotte Manson, for position. As they make their way through, he's got to focus for the rest of the lap and make this as clean as possible. At the front of the D-Max Heavies, it's Henry Traynor. If he continues to see battling like that between the two of them behind, he will absolutely be loving that because he can extend his gap, keep on pushing on and pushing forward. So riding aboard with Marriott then, he gets a little bit caught up with back markers. But who's that around the outside? That's Babulal, who gets himself a move there. Brilliant stuff to take advantage. Let's have a look then. Marriott goes one way, and Babulal says, thank you very much, I'll go the other. Takes the inside line for the next corner. Brilliant thinking from Babulal there, as he takes away that position from Casper Marriott. Marriott looking all around, seeing if there's any more people to put a lap on. But meanwhile, Babulal gets a little bit caught up with one of them. Casper Marriott up the inside, still battling away with Babulal here. Marriott still holds the inside line and takes away second place once again. Babulal still not done with this. He's looking for a move up the inside of the next corner. Fantastic battling between these two. Babulal takes away that position for now. And Marriott here trying to find all sorts to try and find his way back through. Babulal holding on to the inside line, going downhill now. Got to keep his focus, see how long he can keep ahead of Marriott, because it's been a great battle between these two so far. As they get back onto the power now, Marriott going down the hill, just looking for a way past Babulal. Down in towards turn 8 we go. Back onto the power. Work to do for Marriott. Adam Thomas, well, since he took over the lead, he's been absolutely in fine form, flying at the front of the order. Again, dispatching traffic. He's doing well. Look at these two familiar faces then. Marriott and Babulal then still battling away as Marriott tries a move up the inside this time, going in towards turn 8. He takes that position away, runs slightly wide, and that's going to allow Babulal here to have a line up the inside. He actually takes away the racing line from Marriott. And once again, they switch back and forth. Brilliant battling between these two. Brilliant respect as well as they make their way through the final corner. Babulal having a look over his shoulder. Here's Tricker then, riding aboard with him, as he's got a bit of lap traffic to deal with. So be careful because the 1-2-4 of Charlotte Manson's right behind. Back onto the power they'll go. There's the number 15 of Finn Davies. He actually waves through Charlotte Manson. That's a disaster for Tricker there. Meanwhile then, in the Heavies at the moment, it's a great battle going on for second and third place right now, going through the order. That's the number 5 of Barry Morris and the number 26 of Paul Studd. They're absolutely having a brilliant battle right now. Dan Monro, though, has got clean air in front. Henry Traynor, pretty much the same as well. Both enjoying themselves. Doing a fine job is Henry Traynor right now. Comfortable, committed, and cool. Everything you need as a race leader. Adam Thomas, still in the lead, hasn't looked back. Meanwhile, then the checker flag waves on the race. We've seen some great battling all the way through. Very shortly, we'll bring you those podiums. A fine day for racing, especially two certain names come to mind. Couldn't think who. Meanwhile, the podiums then. The N35 Heavies, Kuba Wozniak. In the N35 Lights, Adam Thomas. The D-Max Heavies, that was Henry Traynor. And the D-Max Lights, the trophy goes to Dan Monro. The official results then from each class. N35 Lights first, it's Adam Thomas taking the win. Lee Schnitzler in second place with Charlie Fenton rounding off our top three. James Bettison just missing out on a podium position by 1/10 of a second. Adam Thomas picking up fastest lap. In the N35 Heavies, it was Kuba Wozniak in dominant fashion taking the win and also the fastest lap, winning by nearly 52 seconds from Barry Morris and Paul Studd rounding off the top three. In the D-Max Lights, it was Dan Monro winning by nearly 38 seconds ahead of Casper Marriott and Callum Poulter rounding off the top three. Philip Babulal misses out on the podium. Dan Monro picks up fastest lap. And in the D-Max Heavies, it's Henry Traynor winning against Charlotte Manson by 3.7 seconds. Matthew Clark rounding off our podium positions. Top three separated by less than 8 seconds. Fastest lap going to Charlotte Manson. Let's take you through the championship standings then. It's Adam Thomas at the top of the table with the N35 Lights. 2 wins out of 2. Lee Schnitzer in second place. James Bettison rounding off the top 3. Very close between our second and third place driver. In the N35 Heavies, it's Kuba Wozniak again in dominant fashion. 114 points against Barry Morris and Paul Studd. The D-Max Lights, it's Casper Marriott at the top. Philip Babulal missing out on the podium and losing ground on the championship leader. Henry Traynor, meanwhile, in the D-Max Heavies, at the top of the order, Charlotte Manson in second place, Matthew Clark rounding off our top 3. We hope you've enjoyed today's action. We'll see you again soon.